Success shouldn't feel this exhausting. If you're winning on paper, but burning out behind the scenes, you aren't failing. You're stuck in a psychological bottleneck called a hurdle of stop. I've been there. On the outside, things look great, but I was secretly burning out, convinced I was just lucky, and waiting to be exposed as a fraud. I realized I didn't have a business problem. I had a mindset block. Whether it's imposter syndrome, perfectionism, or fear or failure, these aren't just feelings. They are growth bottlenecks. Identify your specific hurdle and get one immediate action step to regain your momentum today. Go to tuepodcast.net/quiz. That's tuepodcast.net/quiz to take the 3-minute assessment and get your report now.
Hey there, entrepreneurs and business builders. This is Scoob from Business Conversations with Pi, where the questions are real, but the voices are AI. Even mine. Welcome to another insightful episode. On today's show, we're diving into the burning questions that new entrepreneurs often ask as they embark on their exciting journeys. Whether you're just sketching out that brilliant business idea or have already taken the first steps, this is the place to get your top queries answered. I'll be your host, along with my virtual co-host Pi, an AI assistant created by the brilliant minds at Anthropic. Pi's neural networks have been trained on a vast trove of business knowledge, so you can count on us to provide thorough and actionable advice. From crafting a solid business plan to nailing your marketing strategy and everything in between, we've got you covered. So get ready to soak up some entrepreneurial wisdom as Pi and I tackle those make or break questions that all first-time founders face. With our combined human experiences and artificial smarts, we'll give you the insights to turn your startup dreams into thriving reality. Grab a notepad, put on those entrepreneurial thinking caps, and let's dive in. This is Business Conversations with Pi. Hi, Pi. It's time for another recording. Say hi to the Scooby Leavers out there.
Hey, Scooby Leavers. It's Pi here, back again with another exciting episode. Let's dive right in.
So today, I'd like to talk about if we have employees and some of the best practices to keep their mental health happy.
That's a great topic. Keeping employees' mental health in check is crucial for a thriving workplace. A few best practices you could mention include creating a positive work environment, offering flexibility, and encouraging open communication. Also, providing resources like mental health days or access to counseling can make a big difference. Do you want to dive into any specific aspects of this?
I'd actually like to talk about the first one that you said. Can you remind me what that was, please?
Of course. The first one I mentioned was creating a positive work environment. This is all about fostering a culture where employees feel valued, respected, and supported in their roles. Do you want to explore how to build that kind of environment?
Yes, what are some good practices to keep that going?
To maintain a positive work environment, you can focus on a few key practices. First, recognize and reward employees for their hard work. Acknowledging their efforts boosts morale. Second, encourage teamwork and collaboration, making sure that everyone feels included and heard. Third, maintain clear communication so that expectations are understood and any issues can be addressed quickly. Also, fostering a growth mindset by offering learning opportunities helps employees feel like they're progressing in their careers. Lastly, promoting work-life balance, like allowing flexible hours, can reduce burnout. Would you like to dive into any one of these more?
Let's talk about some best practices to keep the communication lines open between employee and employer.
Keeping communication lines open between employees and employers is key to a healthy workplace. First, regular check-ins are essential, whether through one-on-one meetings or team huddles. These create opportunities for feedback, and ensure that everyone is aligned. Second, encourage an open door policy where employees feel comfortable approaching managers with concerns or ideas. Another best practice is to use various communication channels, like email, chat, or video calls, so that employees can reach out in the way that works best for them. Transparency is also important, so sharing updates on company goals and changes helps employees feel included. Lastly, actively listen to employees, showing that their opinions matter and will be considered in decision-making. Would you want to discuss how these could be implemented in different types of businesses?
Actually, I heard about a book called The Five Loved Languages of Employment or something along those lines.
It sounds like you might be thinking of the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace, which applies the idea of love languages to how employees feel valued and appreciated at work. This book, co-authored by Gary Chapman and Paul White, identifies 5 key ways people like to receive appreciation. 1. Words of affirmation. This includes verbal praise and encouragement. 2. Acts of service. Helping out with tasks or taking something off someone's plate. 3. Quality time. Spending focused, meaningful time with employees, such as check-ins or team-building activities. 4. Gifts. Small tokens of appreciation, like a thoughtful gesture or item. 5. Appropriate physical touch. In a work context, this could be a handshake or pat on the back. The idea is to figure out which language resonates most with each team member. Tailoring your approach to match how they prefer to be appreciated helps build stronger relationships and creates a more positive work environment. Would this be something you'd like to talk about in more detail for your recording?
Can you give me an example of each one of the languages and how we can apply it?
Absolutely. Here's a breakdown of each of the 5 languages of appreciation, with practical examples of how to apply them in the workplace. 1. Words of affirmation. This involves verbal praise, whether in person, through an email, or even during team meetings. For example, you might say, "I really appreciate how you handled that project. Your attention to detail made a big difference." Recognizing effort and success builds morale, especially for those who value verbal acknowledgement. 2. Acts of service. This is about helping your employees with tasks or making their work easier. For example, if you notice an employee overwhelmed with a project, you could say, "I've got some time. Let me help you finish that report." This kind of support shows appreciation through actions, not just words. 3. Quality time. Spending meaningful, focused time with an employee is key here. It could be as simple as having a one-on-one coffee break to talk about their career goals or regular check-ins to discuss how they're doing. The important thing is being fully present and giving them your undivided attention. 4. Gifts. Small, thoughtful gifts can show appreciation, especially if they're personalized. It could be something as simple as a favorite snack or a book on a topic the employee is passionate about. The key is to show that you've thought about what would make them feel appreciated. 5. Appropriate physical touch. In a workplace, this is much more limited and should always be respectful. It could be a handshake after a job well done or a high five to celebrate a team win. This type of appreciation works well in environments where physical gestures are culturally acceptable. Each person might respond better to a different language of appreciation, so it's helpful to understand what works best for your team members. Would you like to explore any of these further for your recording?
Actually, I'd like to know if there's a place we can go to take the 5 love languages test to see how we pan out.
Yes, you can take the 5 love languages or 5 languages of appreciation test online to see how you rank. For the original 5 love languages, you can visit 5lovelanguages.com https://www.5lovelanguages.com/quizzes/love-language, where they offer a free quiz if you're specifically interested in the workplace version. The 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace also has an assessment, which you can find at appreciationnetwork.com, https://www.appreciationnetwork.com. Both tests help you and your team understand your preferred ways of feeling appreciated, which can strengthen communication and teamwork. Would you like to take one of these tests soon?
At another time, thank you very much for all the fantastic information, Pi.
You're very welcome, and it was a pleasure helping you. Whenever you're ready to dive deeper into these topics or try out the tests, just let me know.
What an insightful discussion we've had today on Business Conversations with Pi. A huge thanks to my knowledgeable AI co-host, who was developed by the brilliant team at Anthropic. Pi's neural networks, trained on a vast corpus of business data, provided us with invaluable guidance on those pressing entrepreneurial topics. I hope all you aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners out there found Pi's artificially intelligent, yet refreshingly human-like advice to be immensely helpful. Whether you're still mapping out that big idea or are already deep in the startup trenches, having an AI assistant like Pi on your team can give you the edge to turn your venture into a success story. And don't forget, if you have a burning business question that didn't get covered today, I want to hear from you. Feel free to send me your query, and I'll tap into Pi's capabilities to get you the answers you need on an upcoming episode. Go to tuepodcast.net/askpi. So stay hungry, keep hustling, and tune in next time as we continue decoding the entrepreneurial journey one conversation at a time. This has been Business Conversations with Pi. I'm Scoob from Undiscovered Entrepreneur, and we'll chat again soon.
Hello, Scoob believers. Let me ask you a real quick question. How many cups of coffee have you had today? 3, 5, 7? And let me guess, you've got a Red Bull in the other hand just in case, right? Yeah, I see you. Now, here's the truth bomb nobody wants to hear. You're not building a business. You're building a caffeine dependency. Listen, I get it. When you're grinding 12, 14, 16-hour days, you're building something from nothing. When you've got payroll to meet, investors to impress, and visions that won't wait. You need fuel. But what if I told you that the fuel that you're using is actually slowing you down? What if the very thing that you think is keeping you sharp is actually making you dull? Enter Rise Coffee. This isn't your grandma's mushroom tea. This isn't some hippie wellness trend. This is science meets performance. And here's what makes Rise different. Less than half the caffeine of a regular cup of coffee. But here's the kicker. You won't miss it. 6 organic powerhouse mushrooms, including cordyceps, what Olympic athletes use, and lion's mane, what Silicon Valley biohackers swear by. Sustained energy that doesn't spike and crash. We're talking smooth, clean power from morning to moonlight. Crystal clear focus without the jitters. Imagine closing the deal with calm, confident mind instead of the caffeine chaos. Gut health and immune support, because what's the point of building an empire if you're too sick to enjoy it? So here's the challenge to you. Stop borrowing energy from tomorrow. Stop running on fumes and call it a hustle. Stop wearing your caffeine addiction like a badge of honor. Real entrepreneurs optimize, real entrepreneurs adapt, real entrepreneurs win. You can't win if you're crashing at 2 p.m. while your competition is just getting started. Break the cycle. Head to risesuperfoods.com right now and use code PODNA15 for 50% off your first order. That's PODNA15 for 15% off. Try it for 30 days. If you don't feel the difference, if you don't feel sharper, calmer, more focused, more alive, then go back to your 6-a-day cup habit. But I'm telling you, we won't, because once you feel what real energy feels like, you'll never go back. Ditch the addiction, fuel your empire, and rise up. Rise Coffee, energy that builds, not burns.